you say something? Oh.
We need to get to the bottom of this, and the only way you get to the bottom of it is to capture one of the drones. And I have a bill to do that. That will give the local authorities the right to shoot them down.
Here we go once again. It's the drones, it's the orbs, it's the everything over New Jersey, New York, and the rest of the world, right? There is so much stuff going on globally right now. It's almost impossible to keep on top of it all. But I'm trying my best. Subscribe to the channel and I'll keep you on top of everything as it happens. First clip that we've got today comes from New York City, as 3 UFOs were spotted flying over the water. And this person said that they were on a tram to Roosevelt Island when they saw 3 balls of light up in the sky that they could not decipher, discover, expose, or whatever. Have a look at this.
Did you say something? Oh.
Yeah, obviously this is interesting footage, like everything else. So there's not really too much to go off of course, because, you know, this person's moving on the tram. But obviously we've got that ball of light, that ball of light. The ball of light over here, this is giving off the vibes like the green and red lights like the drones have been over New Jersey. And let's give this one the benefit of the doubt and say that this is a plane, all right? Because, you know, it's moving at a pretty decent pace. I know there's a lot of airports over in New York. I think there's like 3. So, you know, there's a lot going on. But the 2 orbs of light here and the one to the left are definitely interesting because they're motionless. They just seem to be there. And then, well, let's even take that into consideration and say that's like a light at the top of like a tall building or something. I don't know. Let's discount that one. But these 2 are definitely out of place. They definitely feel out of place and they don't feel like they belong. Obviously, it's a very interesting clip, you know, and it is reminiscent of that of what we're seeing across the globe at the moment, especially with it giving off that yellowy orange hinge and hue, which is very, very interesting. But that's not the only thing that's interesting, as the next clip that we've got is a multicolored sphere that was observed and filmed by a commercial airline pilot at 35,000 feet above the Atlantic Ocean. Now, obviously, drones don't get that high, as far as I'm aware. You know, especially like hobbyist drones, they're kind of capped at a certain altitude, so they don't interfere with planes or get in the way. And, you know, that's a safety regulation that has to be put in by the drone manufacturer. So that's quite a common practice. So to see these drones this high up is very uncommon. And it begs the question of what is it that gets this high up in the sky? More interesting footage. And what I absolutely love about footage that comes from commercial airline pilots like this is obviously They're well-trained people. They know what should and what shouldn't be in the sky. They've got radars pinging them left, right, and center of what is in the airspace, so they know how to avoid collisions or how to avoid certain things. And they know, obviously, if they're doing this as their career, they might be doing 1, 2, potentially even 3 or 4 flights per day, depending on, of course, the distance that they're traveling, right? So they're very well experienced flight people. They know exactly what should and shouldn't be there. So when they start to show interest in something like this, it piques my interest. Because if they're not sure about what something is or whether it should be there, then it makes me wonder whether that should or shouldn't be there. Do you know what I'm saying? It's very, very interesting, especially when you get these kind of formations and they start to line up in the ways that they do here. Obviously, we're seeing very slight movements, which is telling me that perhaps these are quite far away because of perspective, distance, and stuff like that. The rate that they're traveling, they could be traveling very quick, but if they're far away, it gives the perspective that they're traveling very slowly. Or they could be a little bit closer and traveling at a very slow rate. It's really difficult to know. Either way, you know, we've got the context that these are at 35,000 feet at least, you know, so what can get that high? Because like I've said before, typical drones from typical hobbyists, which the government are starting to label this as, don't get that high. Moving on to another clip though, talking about drones and hobbyists. This is a video where I cannot seem to see exactly where in the world this clip comes from. Oh, it's from New Jersey, I've just seen. So these are the drones coming out of New Jersey. So take a look at this. Again, it's just the whole New Jersey situation is just getting crazier and crazier by the day.
How bizarre are these 2 drones? Wait. Something is crossing their paths. Look at those. They're like literally side by side, just hanging there in the air. What? Oh my God. What? I thought they were going to collide. There's 3 of them now, I think. Like one there, one there, one there. And I hate the fact that I'm on my phone now because I wanted to just catch a better, oh my goodness, a better image of them. And I'm gonna tell you guys something, and I will stitch that video to this one. My son and I looked out the window one of these days and we saw a drone, and all of a sudden the drone wasn't there anymore and it disappeared in thin air. And I went back to the camera, to our Ring camera, and because I thought it was crazy, and that happened on the camera too. So I'm gonna try to recover the image, and I will stitch it to this video. Why do I keep on saying snitch and it's still there?
Right, this one I find particularly interesting because there's so much to take into account here. Obviously, we've got the movements, like they're just coming and going, like this one literally just hovers along, right? And it just chills next to this one like it's nothing. Like they're just there together. Like it's moving, stop, right? And then this one, like, obviously, well, that one goes past, but then, you know, they start to come together and stuff, and it's like, what is going on here? Obviously, the movements of these things don't give off your typical drones, okay? And they are enormous. Like, if we take a look at the size of these things, right? Like, this woman is a fair distance away from these drones, right? And oh, well, that one's just started moving again, as we can see, right? But, like, that, you can see how enormous they are based off of the distance that this person is to them. You can imagine, like, why people are starting to state that these are SUV-sized drones. And as far as I'm aware, like I've said in almost every video now, a typical hobbyist, like, you know, when I had a drone for recording, like, my drone was maybe like this big, maybe like it fit in the palm of my hand, right? It was like maybe the size of my hand, okay? And my hands aren't huge, but you know, neither was this drone. It was a DJI Mini, I think it was, right? I mean, the term Mini gives it away, but, you know, like a drone, they're not big. Not the size of these things. So obviously that adds mystery to the whole situation in its entirety. But obviously we've now got people just coming out left, right and centre to talk about this. Like on Fox News, they're covering it very, very closely. Representative Mark Green was the latest one to come out and talk about the situation, in which he stated that the US government just needs to shoot them down in order to just get a sample of whatever it is to work out what the F is going on.
We need to get to the bottom of this, and the only way you get to the bottom of it is to capture one of the drones. And I have a bill to do that. That will give the local authorities the right to shoot them down, and we need to pass that bill, put the authorities in the state and local police, and let them get one, and let's get an analysis on it.
There you go. You couldn't say better myself. I'm surprised that they haven't even got, like, it's been 20 days. Or 21 days now since this all started. The fact that we're only just getting this bill in place is actually bonkers. But another person to talk out about it is Representative Tim Burchett, who I absolutely love, dangum. He is an absolute hero.
You think the government is lying? I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you think they're lying on this issue, Congressman?
Oh, yeah. I mean, when have they ever told us the truth on anything? I mean, come on. This thing has been going on, and I don't think they have control of it, and they don't know what to do, so they're just going to lie.
You think the government is...
There you go. So, you know, not even the Congress people of the United States are believing the government anymore when it comes to this situation. I mean, I know Joe Biden's come out about it, the White House has come out about it, and President-elect Donald Trump have come out about it and said, oh yeah, we know what this is, it's lawful, it's legal, it's all the rest of it. But then the head of the DOD comes out and is like, yeah, we have no idea what this is, as far as I'm aware, you know, yeah, this is nothing to do with us. Yeah, that sucks, doesn't it? That really does. That's really something. And then we're back to square one again, where it's just like full circle. No one knows what the F's going on. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. While you're down there, jump to get the hell up the like button, subscribe if you're new, and until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.